Good morning. Dennis Willich here with Nationwide Southwest. And here to my right is Jonatan Pecina with Plebes Appliance and Furniture down in Houston,
Texas. Yes, sir.
Welcome, Jonathan.
Yes, sir.
Love to have you here.
It's a pleasure to be here. Yes, sir.
So let's talk a little bit about you guys. How long have you been in businesses, Jonathan?
We've been in business for about 3.5 years.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Out in Houston, Texas. That's where we started. That's where we are right now.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And what made you decide to go into the appliance and furniture business?
Well, our story really starts off about 3.5 years ago, and right out of high school, I started a framing company, construction company with my uncles, and it was growing. It was going great. But then we had a COVID hit. Yeah. That kind of, put us out the ballpark there with that business, and it's a crazy story. We started with refurbished appliances, repairing, fixing, and service calls out to properties, out to people's homes. And basically, there was a day when I was really, really down, and picked up a dryer on the side of the road because our dryer at home wasn't working. Got home, plugged it in, it didn't work. I got on YouTube and started, researching how to fix it, how to diagnose it. I went and bought a $20 multimeter from Harbor Freight down in Houston. The guy said, test this fuse, test that fuse, check this. It was a heating element. Got it out of Amazon for like $50, put it in there, flipped it on Marketplace for like $250. And that was the easiest money I've ever made in my life, man. And from there, I was like, well, this is it, this is it. And I'm very grateful for my wife as well. She's always been a backbone to us. And she's the one that's always, pushed us. But that's kind of how we got, into the appliance business. And from there, it kind of picked up.
Well, that's great.
Yes, sir.
What a great story. And again, here you are today, 3.5 years later.
Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit. How much volume is your store doing now?
Volume-wise, we might sell on the refurb side anywhere from like 75 to 100 units a week.
Okay.
And new appliances, this is something, we just got into.
Right.
When we joined Nationwide, Mr. Tom, it was the one that signed us up and came by our store, and, he had to come like 7 times before we actually took the decision. It was like 2 weeks before the last prime time. We finally took the jump, and now we're starting to get into the new appliances, and bringing that into the store.
Okay.
That's basically how it's been right now.
Okay. Yeah. How's the new new appliance addition?
Well, it's been amazing. For one, is refurbished. It brings you a lot of headaches, a lot of warranty calls. You gotta come into the customer's home again, and just little things that happen. And with the new, we get a lot of customers that come into the store and they might not be looking for that refurbished, that lower end product, but they might be looking for something that's a little bit newer, something out the box. And it's been great, man. Being able to offer the customers that opportunity through Nationwide has definitely helped us out a lot.
That's good. So giving them more choice.
Yes.
That way you cover a wider group of people.
Exactly.
So that's great. And I think what you'll see as you go along, tell me a little bit. You opened your business, started out with refurbish and used refurbish, and then what kind of marketing and advertising were you using, and what are you using today?
So a lot of the marketing, we try to stay to our roots, because before we would make flyers, stick them on the ground, and people would call us, and people would, we would reach out, send pictures and things like that. But now, we've transitioned into more online, Facebook, Google, a lot of advertising on there to drive people to our store. It's been a big impact as well.
Oh yeah, well, that's good. And there's so many different things, especially in the digital side of, and it's changing all the time, and you kind of have to stay on top of it.
You gotta adapt.
Right. Yes. I go way back and think about the days when we talk about putting you in the yellow pages.
Right. You get phone calls, yeah.
So, and way before there was any cell phones.
No, yeah, way before. For sure.
So, and today, there's so many opportunities in digital. and there are so many different ways to promote yourself.
Right.
But there are, oh, it also brings it to the point, there's so many ways, you have to figure out what works and what was the best. So, who are you working with today on your social media and all of that?
As far as us working with somebody, we basically do everything on our own.
Okay.
Most of the marketing we do is on our own. We have reached out to a couple different companies that we're, starting to work with here at Nationwide.
Okay.
And hopefully, that brings us, a better, more than not, people that know what they're doing.
Right.
Versus, we just putting in numbers and, trying to guess what zip codes would work and things like that. Reaching out to a professional that, they know what they're doing.
Right.
I feel like that's also going to help us out a lot.
No, it will. And the thing that I always point out to all the membership is you really need to know your market.
Right.
You need to know how to market to your audience. And one of the biggest things we have is we really talk big about our digital marketing stuff, talk about market analysis to find out exactly the market you're dealing with, what's the age groups, what's all those kinds of things. And I think the more that you understand those things, the better off you'll be as far as spending your dollars. Because when you spend $1, you'd like to get some return.
Of course. That's the whole idea, right? Yeah.
So the whole thing is we have so many different tools here. It's incredible. And I, like I tell every member, we have a lot of different choices to use. And so please, as a group member, reach out. And, now, I think you have Elias calling on you now.
Elias?
Yeah, because Tom is over on the custom integrations. But Elias, great guy. He knows digital well. He was in our digital division for about 3.5 years.
Oh, wow.
So he worked very close there. So he's very knowledgeable. And again, I challenge every member. Don't try to do everything on your own.
Right.
Reach out, and there may be some other avenues here. And just like you said, somebody that can help you figure out, where do I spend $500 or $100 or $1,000? Where should I do it?
Right.
And then you get the door to swing, you get more customers in, and all that. Let me ask you a question. Looking back at when you started, and of course you said, hey, you fixed it, you figured out you could sell it, and you said, this is it. Okay, now I'm going to take off. If I was to ask you today, what were probably the 2 to 3 biggest challenges you had during that really, really early infant age coming forward? What would you say they were?
Primarily it would probably be, we were working out of tents, like in the backyard of a house, out of the garage. Our living room was our showroom. So I would have people come in, they would come into our living room, check out what we had, that being able to give like a more professional feel to the actual, our business, right? That was probably one of the biggest things my wife was always pushing. We got to get out of the house. Number 2 would probably be HOA. We used to have 16, 18 box trucks pulling in the neighborhood every single day, dropping off appliances. And you're living in a residential area, so that was one of the biggest challenges. But that was kind of the thing that pushed us out and really pushed us and propelled us to the next level. Because when we got that letter, HOA, you can't be having box trucks pulling into the neighborhood, and that put us where we are a little bit right now. They moved us out, and we were able to get a warehouse, a retail store, and to better also give that more professional feel when the customer comes in versus walking into a living room, But I believe it's part of a process. Everything's part of a process. Me and my wife, we're tremendously grateful, for Nationwide and what the reps do with just walking into the stores and just showing what you guys have to offer. That for us means a lot, because we were looking, where do we buy? Where do we get this? Where do we get that? And it was like something crazy, because Mr. Tom walked in, he showed everything to us, and we were like, it's like if some things answering those questions. I'm a really big believer of God, and it was like, everything happens for a reason, So we're tremendously grateful for Nationwide and what you guys have done here. So
thank you so much. That's very nice. So now you sat here today. What brands in the new are you carrying?
We're currently carrying LG and Samsung.
Okay.
We're big fans of them. We push a lot of LG in the store. LG is really the brand that's that brought us to where we are right now. We a lot of their units that we used to refurbish were 8, 10, 12 years old, and they were still out in somebody's property. So that goes to show that brand has a lot of longevity. We obviously want to work with other brands. One of the brands we're looking at to really get into right now is GE. I know they're might be like a bigger brand here in the U.S. We're trying to bring that into the store as well. We get a lot of customers that walk in the store and the first thing they say, "Do you have any GE appliances?" So that's one of the things we're trying to work on to see we can get set up with them. But yeah, that's pretty much the brands that we carry currently. We just got signed up with Z-Learning for a higher end. We're building out a small section where we're gonna have like a more custom appliances.
Right.
So that's basically what we're working on right now.
That's good. That's well. It sounds like you're off to a great start.
Yes.
And it's so exciting. I just can't say enough about you. Put this thing together. You had a dream. You got it going. Now here it's taken off. Now you're thinking about adding this and this and this. And don't forget, as you guys go forward, I want to reiterate one thing that I would strongly suggest you do when the time is right.
Right.
Okay? And then when you decide you want to broaden that base a little bit, don't forget what you're selling inside of the house is great.
Right.
But always remember, there's a lot of sales being done in the backyard.
Right.
And you probably heard me tell you that and saw me, because I preached that a lot.
Yes, sir.
That if you're in that house already, why not expand more sales and offer things that go into the backyard? Grills, furniture,
right?
Things that you can do, because you can sell furniture in that backyard just as easy.
Yes, sir.
As Lowe's or Home Depot or anybody else.
Yes, sir.
Do a better job, deliver, make the whole thing. So there's opportunities all over the place.
Yes, sir.
It's exciting for me, and I can tell you're excited.
No, I'm very excited.
And you make me excited about you being excited.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
That's what's good about this. So I just want you to know the kind words you had about the group and everything.
Yes, sir.
We never stop. We will never stop. And
yes, sir.
Evolving into hopefully being a better partner for you. Yes. And we are constantly looking out there. And I encourage you, while you're here at the show, maybe you take a look at our digital things.
Yes.
We have so many different tools. Spend a little time. Is there something there that would help you, right, start you to grow more? Another thing, while you're here at the show, if you're looking for other brands, you mentioned General Electric.
Yes, sir.
Well, have you been to the booth yet?
No, sir. We actually, when we got here, we went straight to LG to get signed up direct, and then we went to Z-Line, and it was time for the show.
I got you. And now you're here.
Yes, sir.
See, this is the place that puts you in a different position, and you really do get to see face to face, to sit down and talk. Gives you the ability to really lay out your game plan,
right?
So they can see what you are all about.
Yes,
so it's really, really good. Yes, so, Jonatan, thank you so much for joining me today. Congratulations on that new business.
Sir.
And just wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
All the best.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having us.